Number 7, construct a square with the given side length. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we need to know what the side length is. I'm going to call this A, and I'm going to put a little dot there, and I'm going to call this B, so I know where it ends is right there. The first thing I need to do is to know how far it is. That's how far the side length is, AB. The next thing I need to do is I need to lengthen this line a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to extend this line going to the right. I'm just going to trace it and move out a line a little bit farther than that distance. You're extending the line. It needs to be longer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a perpendicular, just like we did before. So I need 2 equidistant points away from point B. I need to make sure that my holder is going to touch on one side and on the other side. You can make a semicircle, or you can just do the right side and the left side. I'll put my compass right there so you can see what I've done. Both sides, both sides, both sides. And I'm going to call this L, and I'm going to call this M, so that you know exactly what we're going to do next. If I want a perpendicular, if we go back to what we did before, we have to go more than halfway from which 2 letters? Not A. L and M. Because these 2 points are equidistant from B. We always go from the equidistant points, and we have to make sure our slider is more than halfway. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to create that semicircle from M. Make sure it goes above B and below B. And then the same thing from L. If we're doing this right, what we are going to have is a perfect right angle that goes through B. Now we have the right angle symbol right there. That is a perfect perpendicular right angle, which is what we need for a square. And we're going to make a perfect square. So, and every side of the square has to be the distance of A to B. So, what we have to then do is put our bullseye on A and figure out how long is it from A to B. So I adjust the slider until the holder is directly the same distance as from A to B. And then I need my corners of the square. One corner will be up here somewhere. One corner straight up from A. And I need to know how far up B I have to go. So I'm going to go over to B. And I have to figure out how far up that is. Here's my new one. I'm going to label this one right here so I know where I'm going. I'm going to call that B prime, because that's still the same distance from here to here as A to B prime, right? So I have this distance, which is AB prime, and this one AB prime. I only have one more to use, one more spot. Put your bullseye on B prime and figure out where the other corner is. There's your other corner right there. From B prime to there. Now you have your 4 corners of your square. 1, 2, 3, and here's your 4th corner. from B prime to there. Connect the dots. To A. From there to there. And what you have is a perfect square. Pretty cool. It only comes from a right angle, and it comes from this distance, and this distance, and this distance, and that distance. We're constructing it. It's coming from a piece of string like they used back in ancient Greece. Moving on. Number 8, last one. Construct a hexagon with the given side length. This one is really kind of neat and simple. It's something that you've done already. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label this A and this one B. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my bullseye on A and make sure I have my slider the same size as AB. That looks pretty good. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mark up here toward the top from A. Next thing I'm going to do is use the bullseye on B. And what this is, right here at the top where this X is, this is our center. It's an equilateral triangle. I don't know if you realize that, but it's the same one as the 60-degree angle we did, or the equilateral triangle. What you're going to do now is you're going to put your bullseye on the center, and I want a complete circle. Bullseye on the center and a complete round circle. It's the first one that we've done like that. If you need to move your finger out of the way, move your finger out of the way.
Oh my god, that's such a pretty circle.
Oh yeah.
A complete circle, and the center is right where that X is. If you did it right, you're going to hit the A, you're going to hit the B perfectly on the edge of your circle. If you didn't do it right, you're going to be off a little bit. Your center wasn't in the right spot.
Oh dang.
We only have 4 more marks to make, and then we connect the dots. Here we go. All we have to do now is, since this is the distance, all I have to do now is take AB's distance, and I'm going to put the bullseye on A and find how far that is over to the side. Make a mark. From A to the left side. That's your first mark. That's one corner. Then I go to that corner, and from there I'm going to find the next corner. That's AB. Then I'm going to go to that mark, put my bullseye there, and make the next corner. I'm calling them corners because that's where the corners will be. Then you go to the next mark, and you make another corner. And if you do this right, as you get to that last bullseye, this should line up with B perfectly. Ooh, that does. Look at how perfect that is. If you do it right, it's not by accident. It is by mathemagic.
Math magics.
So all you have left to do, now that you have the 4 corners, connect your corners to your original, and what you should get is a perfect hexagon made up of a bunch of equilateral triangles. Connect your corners. Connect your corners. If you look at that, perfect, 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 perfect. No measuring. We didn't measure anything. All we did was use a compass and a straight edge.